everybody. Today, I think I talked about it the other day. I don't know if it made it to the video, but I'm going to show you another technique that I use. It's something I kind of came up with like 5 years ago, and it was a technique that I started because it enabled me to paint longer. I was able to kind of stretch my paint. You know, to go into the store and buy paint all the time is expensive, but when you want to have a quality product, you do want to have enough paint and enough medium and everything. So anyway, I started combining my paint with medium, and it just, over the years, I've gotten better at it. I know what paints work, I know what paints don't work so well, and it's a fun other technique that I use. I don't use it all the time, but I use it a lot because I use the medium a lot. And again, it's a light molding paste that I'm still waiting to get, but I buy it in huge quantities now, and then I make my own. So I buy the molding paste, and then I combine colors to it. So like all of this came as white molding paste, and then I add a little bit of color to all the molding paste, and that way I started doing it again to stretch my paint so I'd have more. And then I came up with something that I really enjoy using. So again, this is my personal favorite. Blue, I have a light blue and a dark blue, and I just add, it uses very little paint. Some paints absolutely do not work with the molding paste. Like for a good example, when I add red to a white molding paste, most of the time it comes out pink, no matter how much red paint I use. So I have to do something else in order to get the red color with the molding paste. And again, something I've learned along the way. But I thought it'd be fun for you to learn what I do with it. Just so again, I'm going to use the small canvases again. One of these days I'll show you what I do with the big canvases. But for now, this is fun because this is still something that you guys can do at home. And I sell this molding paste. If you don't want to make it yourself, I can certainly put some colors together for you. And that's something fun to do. So let's start. Super fun. So today I made a blue, which I'll open. I made an orange one. I made, this is a yellow one. Yellow comes out kind of funny, but that's okay. And green one. I think I'll use, and then this brown one I made. So we'll use this one right now. So again, molding paste mixed with color. I will start with a heart, like I always do, because it's the simplest one. So again, got my canvas, and I drew it on there. And then, instead of my hand, instead of a paintbrush, everything is done with the palette. And there's 2 or 3 different techniques that I use with the palette, but today I'll just use the normal one. So I'm going to start everywhere. But when I'm doing these paintings, whether I'm using just plain old paint or molding paste, the one thing I learned that you want to do to have when you have a final product is you want to distinguish what color you use in the middle versus what color you have on the outside of the painting. So that's just one little painting lesson that you would learn, like either in a class or that you learn over time just because you do it often. So today I think I will make the middle blue and the outside orange. We'll start with that, and I'll probably add a couple more other colors. So I'll start with the middle blue. Nice molding paste instead of the white, right? So now we're starting with the blue. And I'm gonna go, this is gonna be the same thing. This is gonna be art layers. I'll do layers. I just won't have to do as many. And like I said, I used just one tiny little squirt of paint versus a lot of paint, which you learn after a while. You just can't I couldn't keep doing that all the time. So it's so satisfying because look how easy it is. Look what you get, super fast, and you just used a little bit of molding paste, right? Very satisfying. So cute, right? And then always save it, and always put the top back on because it dries really, really fast. And then I think on the outside I'll use just this orange. So can't make a mistake, even if it gets mixed a little bit. So I'm gonna put the outside here. try to control it a little bit. Just get it around the edges first. This is the end product of the first one, right? So I used a blue and a yellow, orange molding paste. It's very easy, very easy. So I'm going to let this dry, and I will probably go into it probably 5 more times, or a couple more times with at least probably 5 different colors, but the same variation, and I'll show you the end of that. The other one I'll do is I think I'm going to do a VW bus. I'm big on those. My specialties are hearts, smiley faces, VW buses, and peace signs. I don't know why, I just really like them. So anyway, so I'll do that. So I have my little stencil to begin with, and then I think I'll make a green, I'll start with the green VW bus, my friend has one. So again, I have my little stencil, which I do it a lot, so I know how to do this one pretty easily. So I'm just going to go in with the green molding paste. And again, the reason I did this was because once you start painting or at the stage I'm at, I paint every single day, some capacity. And you want to keep it going, but you can't keep buying canvases and paint all this. I can anyway, keep buying canvases and paint. I can as long as I sell them. So I do, that's how I've been doing it now for almost 20 years. But you just get really creative and you find other ways, and wonderful. So let's do this green, and I'm going to go up here to the top of it. All done with the palette knife at this stage. Very fun. So that's the top. This is the VW bus, and then I think I need to make side. I'll go this for this side, and then I have to make a circle, but that's a little big. I need something to make a cute little circle in the middle there to make my little VW sign. So I'll go in with this circle. That seems like a good size. So I'm going to make that. Right? Then VW has a VW logo there, pretty cute. Probably make some little headlights here, but we'll just make the little circle for now. I'll go back in later. Cute. And then the middle, I have to make the window here. So I'll go like that maybe. Cute. The logo will go in the middle there. It's a good little circle. You're right in the middle. I'll go in with the VW logo there. Very cute. And then here you just kind of go in the middle. And then I do where the window's going to go. And nothing's perfect. It's just will come out so cute. I just think these are the cutest things. I'm obsessed. So these are the headlights. They'll come out later. Wouldn't that be fun to have a fun little party? Everybody did their own little VW. I love them. I'll probably make 4 more today. Okay, so again, that's the blue one. Tutorial that I'll do while I am out here and it's nice and nobody's calling me right now. So I have the molding paste, which is, I can help you with that, or you can buy your own. Palette knives. I get this one that is, what is it? It's not very expensive. So I have a bunch. You can get them from me, or you can go to Michael's and get them. As long as it's not too cheap. So this is probably like $6, so it's not so bad, but just a little bit of, but this will last me I've had this for 2 years, this palette knife, you know, clean it off. And then there's a little bit of paint. There's the inexpensive paints that you can get. Amsterdam, there's another one called Artist Loft. These are all very inexpensive at any paint store. They're just a thinner acrylic paint. Great for fun, getting a first layer on. But sometimes you have to go over a same spot 2 or 3 times with these colors because they're just not a thick paint. So that's the way it is. But it's fun for most everything. And then just so you know, they come in different containers. Great. And then there's these other paints, whatever brand you get, but it's called heavy body paint. Now these are expensive. Smaller container, bigger container. But again, heavy body acrylic paint. This one tube might cost like $18. But you get what you're paid for. So it's a really, really thick paint. So when I'm working on a piece for a client people spend a lot of money on a big piece of artwork. So, you can certainly buy good paint. But it's really thick. So I usually do my very last coat of my big pieces with this thicker, heavier paint because it has full coverage. I usually use this with the palette knife because it just goes sweet. It's super pretty. This is like a treat. When I do paintings and use all heavy body paint, it's a treat. Treat for me. It's nice.